Good morning and welcome to Advocate Gang on Advocate TV. Today we will be talking about the recent crisis during the stakeholder meeting of Delta Central APC, where two aides of the governor allegedly instigated crisis that almost led to death of one of the governor's aides and over 60 people sustaining various degrees of injury. I'm your host today, as usual, Shedrack Onisha. And by my left is a new face, is joining us for the first time, is Comrade Godwin Otwedoy, publisher of Southern Voice News. And by my right is a regular face on this platform, Comrade Polycarp Orosewotu of the Nation newspaper and publisher of the Watchman News. So, Delta State, they say no, they carry last. But must it be that we don't carry last for wrong reason? Every political association or group are holding meeting. Sadly, that of Delta Central APC held a meeting in PTI. What ordinarily should have been a gathering of civilized people, a political party that intend to continue to rule Delta State, become a show of shame, a show of class of barbarism. They took us to 100 years backward, as if Delta State is a lawless society, as if there is no law. And to make matter worse, that the perpetrator of this madness, as I will call it, are senior appointee of the Delta State government. Mr. Polycarp, how did Delta State become this under Sheriff leadership?
Thank you very much, Teleconica. I do not know what to say over this incident that just happened about, on last weekend.
On Sunday.
On Sunday. It's a very, very shameful thing. Very, very shameful. And even beside that, happening in the domain of the governor.
300 meters is it up to even up to 500 meters from the governor's house?
Yes, of the governor. One would have expected that the APC members, Delta Central, who held their meeting at PTI Conference Center, know that yes, they are within the confines of the Delta State governor. So that would have actually had made them to behave well, to ensure that the meeting is held peacefully without any form of violence. This was not the first time we are hearing this kind of thing. In the Delta South, they held meetings severally. In the Delta North, they do the same. We've never at any time heard of what has happened in Delta Central. So I do not know, like you have said, that what has happened has taken us back to 100 years. And that is the fact. Because nobody had expected that in such a meeting, where you have leaders of the party, such thing could happen. And there was no interference from one single person who came in to say, let me rescue this situation, or let me intervene. Or from the point of where they were using plastic chairs on him, bottles and what have you, everybody stood firm, watching as if it was something else. We're talking about issue of death. Nobody, they stood and they were, what in a temple do them now? What in temple? That was our. So that time you were used to ask that question. Why don't you use that time to intervene to see if this whole madness could stop? Though I would say yes, the incident has actually given Deltas another picture in the outside world, in the outside world, because it is not something that if they had their quarrels or what have you before now, they would have settled that score at where both came from, not taking it from there to PTI Conference Center. So it is a very shameful something.
Mr. Godwin, we heard that this is a bottled and premeditated, bottled anger by one side and a premeditated attack, that over 70 boys were allegedly recruited and brought to the venue of that meeting, because Temple and Commissioner for Highway, Commissioner for Work, Mr. Ruben Izeze, who is a trained lawyer, a former House of Assembly member, that they had some altercation during the late Okoto's burial, and this quarrel were carried over. And when he was coming, that he mobilized all his boys, allegedly, right, to as a show of force, believing that Temple will repeat the same incident that led to their crisis at Okoto's burial. And some of his boys find their way into the hall, and Temple, in his usual very crude, uncivil way of handling things, also approached those boys to leave the hall, and the boys were just waiting for him to vent their anger on him, and that's what played out. I don't know. Can you give us a foundation to it? And if Temple, because across the state, people know Temple for who he is, in a state that is civil, in a state that understand what image is, in a state that understand that things should be done orderly, Temple have no business being protocol. It would have been SSA or executive assistant to the governor, or waterway security, or vigilante, or youth restiveness. How did Temple find his way to protocol team of the governor?
You see, thank you so very much. It's simple. You see, we indulge in politics of gangsterism and violence. So it is what through violence, some of the politicians you're seeing today, they find their way into
governance.
And now there's something they call background check of individuals in a civilized clime. But here we don't do that. Protocol aides or protocol officers, they are supposed to be the one planning and coordinating events. And as well, they should be people that will ensure that every function concerning the particular government they are representing goes smoothly. But in this case, the man called Temple, Simon Mudi as his name, man, aka Temple, but is popularly known as Temple or well known as Temple. He has this flash pan way of doing his own things, you know. He wants to be noticed, he wants to be known in every activities. Wherever he is, he wants to be known. Hence, he went to that place to foment that trouble, as I would put it, because if he had not gone to approach those alleged youths that were brought by the commissioner, Mr. Ruben Izeze, I think this issue in the first place wouldn't have happened. But he went to approach the youth. Whereas we have security, I was not there, but there must be security agents around the place and somebody anchoring the event. Someone anchoring the event. So what stopped him in the first place? If what they are alleging is true. So what stopped him from going to meet the man anchoring the event, the MC of that event? Please, if you know you are not invited, you are not supposed to be in this hall, kindly go out. Or you direct the security agent to drive those people to take them out. But in his own case or in his own way of doing things, he went to confront them. You know, From what we are hearing or from what we've gathered, they had issues somewhere, and the aggression was transferred to this place. And now, we wouldn't know if the allegations are true that the commissioner brought those people or those boys to come and attack him. You have provoked them. So that was why they came out for him.
But the provocation, does it justify attempt to lynch him?
No, it doesn't. That is why I said background check. And because we do politics of gangsterism, and most time what brought people into power or offices is through their violent way of life.
Ability to unleash terror.
Yeah. So that is what brings them to office. So because of that, the honorable commissioner, that name honorable in quote, is supposed to go with respect and with his level of education and intelligence. He's a learned man. He shouldn't have stooped so low to that level of tempo, recruiting people as alleged to come and cause chaos, knowing fully well, like from what Comrade Polycarp just said, that this is the domain of the government, the governor of the state. And if you really want to respect the governor who appointed you, whatever issues you had with that man previously, you don't need to bring it to that place today because you are in the domain of the governor. So you would have respected the governor. So I will look at it that it boils down to politics of violence and gangsterism, your level of violence. If you can cause mayhem in places, you will be recognized. Hence, they believe that anything I do, I can do it with impunity and nothing will happen because we are in government. I think that was what led to that.
Mr. Polycarp, if not for two issues worried me when I saw that video. Most of the youth that were involved in that madness, all of them came from the same local government, allegedly. Most of them allegedly came from Mugeli South. Tempo is from Mugeli South. Izeze is from Mugeli South. They can visit this level of violence on their fellow Ugeli South people. What then is the fate of ordinary debtors? If they can visit this level of violence on the member of their same political party and from the same local government and probably from the same kindred, if they can visit this level of violence on each other, where lies the hope of ordinary debtors?
All right. I think I've actually taken time to reason all this you have mentioned because I was like saying, oftentimes the APC government preaches unity, unity. And what happened on that Sunday shows clearly that there's no unity in the party. Yeah. No single unity in the party. No that feeling, that concern for brotherhood. Because if there were, that has happened to Mudi wouldn't have occurred at all. No matter how bad the man may have even been, that during the process of this attack, nobody could come out for rescue.
Where is our humanity?
Yes, nobody could come out. I saw in the comment section where some people were saying, "Not good for her, not good for her." So where you have hundreds of persons, do you not say there's no one single person that loves Mudi? Then he has to watch his back. He has to watch his back seriously. Now, if all this attacks happen, started from somewhere, I don't know leaders in
Ugeli
South
who would have resolved this crisis.
I don't know leaders in Ugeli South. That even at the point of where this is going to happen on Sunday, I don't know leaders too that are there.
No, the leaders, from what we heard, the leaders were inside doing their own thing while this fracas was happening outside. And because the leaders were conscious of the fact that they were on live TV, they didn't want to stand up to disrupt the live coverage. So they prefer showing the world that we are organized, but one of their son and principal
Yes.
is at the brink
Of
of being
killed.
killed,
Yes.
and that did not call the attention.
Fine. Nobody would say during this altercation between the youths and the what's his name? Temple, that one or two leaders may not have been signaled.
Of course.
Obviously.
Yeah.
They may have signaled one or two leaders. But that idea of that is their problem. It does not concern us. We don't care about what is happening
The
there.
same way they treat Nigerian citizens.
Yes. Yeah. That also may have happened. But my pain mostly is that every part of Delta is the jurisdiction of the state governor. But in this all, Central is the main home of the governor. So whether the governor was not even there physically, I think they should be able to feel his presence that, oh, this is the domain of the governor. We shouldn't allow such thing to happen. So for the commissioner to have also, as alleged, to have taken such fight from his home, why don't he do that at
or he does not know where Mudi lives?
Yes, or he does not know where Mudi lives. Why did he bother? Meaning the commissioner too has no respect for the governor.
But no, you can see the way he was addressing the local government chairman who tried to intervene. He went to social media to insult the local government chairman for daring to call him to order. So he's so lawless and he's a lawyer.
So if he could do this by taking such fight from there to the domain of the governor, meaning he has no single respect for the governor, not at all.
Yeah.
And that is what he has displayed. So, but I see the weakness of the party from this that has played out recently. That there's no love, no love, no unity, and just nothing. If not, at the point of where the whole thing started, when we were using those plastic on him, if one or two person has intervened, it would have got to that point it has got to.
So another issue that was exposed in this fracas, apart there, why I did not go in was because we are not invited. As you know, the local journalists were completely left out. No journalists, reporters from Warri, really, Saple.
No, how would they invite us?
We are not invited.
In our usual way.
Because probably they have something to hide and they don't want journalists to come and see what they are hiding.
They don't want the local journalists to tell their own story.
They prefer
bringing somebody
from Lagos and Abuja
to come and tell the stories because obviously from what we have seen or for what is going on today, we have a commissioner for information, sorry to say this, that always run to Arise TV, TVC News and all that, channels, television to go and talk about Delta State. Whereas we have journalists here who can as well talk about or tell the story of Delta State.
No wonder the two government-owned television stations are in comatose.
Yes,
Asaba have been overtaken by flood.
Good.
Why Warri is dilapidated with obsolete equipment. So. Their studio, I hear they are contending with reptiles in their studio.
You understand? So it's just they don't have value. They don't place that value on the local journalists here. Hence, if something like that is happening in Delta Central, we have journalists in Saple, we have journalists in Warri, we have journalists in Ughelli here. None of those journalists were invited to attend that event. But it was given a live coverage by some of these big television stations and all that. Then thereafter, you will see the Commissioner for Information going to the television. This what we are saying now, he will go to the national television to go and defend it tomorrow. Whereas we have local journalists here. I could remember there was a time, there was an interview that was conducted by CNN and all that with Donald Trump. A station from UK was a television station. The reporter was to ask the man a question. He referred him. He said, "Don't ask me this question. Go and ask. What is his name? Was it David?
Cameron.
Something." I said, "Go and ask him." So don't come here and ask me such questions. This is America. You understand? Sometimes we, the local journalists here, they know better. They know what is happening. They see what is happening. But because the government knows what they are hiding, they wouldn't want the local journalists to come out, to come in. If not, why will a state governor or a state commissioner of information organize a briefing and local journalists will not be invited?
No wonder the governor have not briefed journalists in 3 years.
In 3 years, no briefing, no press briefing. So
we are running deaf and dumb states.
And now I must also say something here, because we're saying that nobody came to his rescue, the rescue of a temple, because I also saw the commissioner on a wheelchair. I think he was about to fly or something, and I also saw some scan. I don't know. I don't know the where the those scans were conducted or something. But who recorded this event? This story that we are hearing now, because if somebody did not cover it, there would be no way for us to have known what went
if
wrong
not
there.
for street journalism.
You understand?
Yes.
So because you relegated the journalists, you relegated those who are supposed to tell the stories of this state or what is happening in the state. Now, whatever thing you see,
You manage.
it, because I saw something that they were calling on Guardian
to retract.
to retract.
Guardian they wrote what they believe.
They believe, and because
You stop them from getting to the hall.
From the hall.
Whatever the information they get, they will use against you.
So that is because you refuse to acknowledge the journalists that are on ground, or you feel that they are not supposed to be part of the government, because from what we are seeing, the local journalists here, they are not part of this government.
No, they have been completely shut out.
So you cannot just gag all the journalists in the state. So I looked at it from that angle, that was why journalists were not invited for such program of that magnitude. Delta Central, we're talking about 8 local governments. They are organizing something. You brought somebody who does not know anything about this local government from Lagos to come and cover this event. We are not saying that there should be boundary in journalism,
No.
but sometimes you patronize your local journalism. Even CNN, BBC, they come to local level.
Trump became president and opened up to even content creators. Podcasters to have access. They were accredited to have access to White House.
Yes.
But here in Delta, even recognized trained platform.
No.
Even national papers are barred from most of the state function. So what are we hiding?
Yes.
And yet we are global trotting, asking investors to come to a place where there's no free press, no free speech. Another issue, you are laughing, you are a journalist. You are in Ugeli here, you are not invited. Also, as big as you are in this state, and you are laughing over it. Another issue is that there were security details. There were soldiers, there were DSS, there were civil defense, there were police, our usual mobile police, special squad, anti-bomb unit. All of them were in PTI conference, and this mayhem was going on. Police and security agents who could not prevent the leeching or attempted leeching of somebody, how can they prevent Boko Haram from operating? How can they prevent kidnapper for having a free day? You now see, this thing also expose the level of unpreparedness of our security to crisis management, because they were all there in their full force with their truck, and they could not catch and bring just few pockets of street urchin who are using bottle. They could not subdue them and arrest them and make them to stop bottle. All of them took off. They feel relaxed. They took off and said it's their business. It's their business. Even if they kill a Nigerian citizen, it's a political business. The same people you want now to protect voters on the day of election. You see why Nigeria, there's voter apathy, because people are not sure that the security will be able to guarantee their safety for them to go and vote and come back. If APC, this one, the APC versus APC, security could not checkmate them, what is the fate of Deltans ahead of 2027 election?
Let me first of all say this. There was this alleged statement from one of the persons that when the issue of the attack on Mudi was on, that it was at that point that the commissioner called for a backup. And that was how some police came from one of the divisions around that area to whisk him off from the scene. Now, the question I'm trying to ask is that at when he was...
No, I learned that the local government chairman ordered for his arrest and he was handcuffed and was taken to area command.
Was handcuffed?
Yes, that is what I heard. And in his outburst on social media, he referred to it also.
Listen, what play out there? Let us not go over to say things that would not actually get the clear picture on. If not, what I think on my own, it was stage managed. The handcuff, the this, the that they did was to whisk him out of the place. But the question I was asking is this: at that point that the police came to that rescue, why they don't at that point also see how they can calm the tension at the PTI conference center?
No, one is more woman than other. One is a commissioner for a special project. So it's more human than Temple.
So that was why
even when two of them are aides to the governor, one is more human being than the other.
So that was why they never bothered, but all the attention was on the
to save the commissioner.
So going forward on what you have asked, I would doubt if there were security agents at that.
The way I drove past there.
Why I'm asking? Why I'm asking if there are, which we know they should be. And
the minister, the federal minister is there. A serving senator is there, and all top APC leaders, all these people who are senators, former senators, and all of them come with their security details.
I'm coming now. When you say they are there, and until this whole episode played out, and ended, there was no sign of
any security.
That
is the failure of security in Nigeria.
And it calls for questioning.
No, but on the other hand, I will look at it from this angle. Something was happening somewhere some time ago, and we saw some security men on ground, and we told them that look at what is happening here. They told us that is not their beat. Could it be that because it was not their beat, that was why they did not respond? Because I believe the commissioner also came with his own security details. And Temple, sometime the man called Temple, when you have seen him with the governor or seen him on some different
protocol
activities, you will think he's a DSS or an SSS man.
Yes.
So
with his dressing,
and the way he behaves, he even acts more than some of the DSS. I don't know if it's overzealousness or something, but he should also have some security details around. He should know some security personnel around. So, but they did not come to his rescue. You understand?
That's so a lot about his character.
About his character. So such persons shouldn't be in the corridor of power at all. Most especially to be a protocol. When you say protocol, your duty is to coordinate, to ensure that whatever thing that is being done goes as smoothly. But in this case, the protocol will be the one to break the same protocol he's supposed to guide against. You understand?
It's a protocol breaker.
Yes, because I understand. I have met him severally at different occasions where he will be the one to generate or to, how will I put it? Instigate the uproar in the place. You understand? You dare not walk past the back of the governor or the side of the governor when the governor is talking. Even if the security personnel allows you to pass as a journalist or something, this same person will come and challenge you. Just to paint or to show that he's working, he's so active and he's so this and that and all that. Where I will blame the Honorable Commission, because If you go deep down, whether you believe it or not, both of them were not fighting for the interests of the public.
At all.
They
Not
were
interest.
fighting for their personal interest. The power of this a tussle of supremacy, because both of them are from the same local government, not just the same local government, from the same houses. Do you hear me? Houses.
And the same kingdom.
The same kingdom. You understand? I'm looking at it from that angle, the power of the tussle of supremacy. I want to be known. I am on. I will be the most highest officer in this. I'm the highest officer in this place. You need to respect me. Okay, me, I've been there before you and all that. So those are the things that happen. I think if you ask me, in my own opinion, that's what I say about it. They are fighting for supremacy. If not, as a commissioner, you are there. You have been 2 times House of Assembly member. You have you are exposed. You have traveled far and wide, well read and learned. I don't think you should have stood so low to that level of a protocol aid, SSA. He has not contested election any day. It is you, the commissioner, that have contested election. You won election twice, elected as a House of Assembly member.
A honorable
House of Assembly member.
But his character, does he show honorable?
No, that is why I'm saying that the name honorable, sometimes that is where we started from. I said, this politics of rascality, the level of your rascality or violence, that makes you known or recognized. Because somebody was jokingly saying that the numbers of persons you can kill determine where you will be in the next political season. So I looked at it from that angle. He stooped so low to that level, but both of them, within them, they know what they are fighting. Because from what we had was the issue started from Kotos burial.
Okay, another issue is that does it also show that there is no proper coordination in the government of Delta State? These are 2 governors' aides coming to display this level of bestiality in the public domain, dragging the image of Delta State to the mud. Particularly in a period the governor is laboring. If you watch television, you see our governor trying to sell Delta. That Delta is a good place to invest in. He's bringing people from Brazil, Argentina, Canada, and all parts of the world for investment summit to sell Delta and showcase Delta, to ensure that our youth who have left school can get job if this company settle down in Delta. And here are his kinsmen displaying, I don't know the adjective to qualify it, a crass madness, open madness, and barbarism of the highest order. Because that day, if you don't look very well, you know, tempo is very tough. Those of us who grew up in the village where we go for hunting, that is how we chase grasscutter and antelope. Do you understand? If you don't look, you will think that it's not human being they are chasing. Even with the blood gushing out of his body, there is no humanity. Are these people supposed to be in this government? What action do you think the Delta State government can take to serve as a deterrent to this class of people?
Sanction them.
I think in the first place, I must say this, that we are actually to some extent sympathizing with a tempo over the attack on him. We are sure it because of the level at which the youths had got. If not, Temple is a product of what has happened to him. Is a product of what has happened to him. Temple's name is synonymous with violence, obviously, and that is a fact. Because you cannot have Temple in a government from the from the Boris time or time. It is temple here, temple there, temple this, temple that. Everywhere is temple, and the temple you hear every time is not about good. Something. It's always from the bad, negative side. So why I always say this because they went too far about the attack, even when they know that nobody was there for this man. Not even one of his boys were there. I think this should also serve as a warning to him too, that someday he may not have his boys by him.
And you will be taken out.
Taken out, and that will end the whole thing. With this that has happened to him. Because if there were one or two boys that were his boys that were already there at that day, I think to some extent it would have got to this point. Now, coming to look at the area of the commissioner, whom we thought is a learned somebody, coming out to show this kind of this. And not this happening again in the home of the governor. To me, I do not see it from any angle or trying to be biased also. I think both of them should face a very serious sanction. Both. Not because what is his name?
Temple.
Temple has been attacked or what have you. Temple should, because Temple is not good on his own.
Of course.
Two of them should face serious sanction. And the sanction should start from suspension.
Immediate suspension.
Immediate suspension.
Before investigation.
Yes. Immediate suspension on both. The commissionership position should be withdrawn from Ruben. I think that will, to some extent, make him realize what he has done. Because ordinarily, with your position and former member of the house, you could go so low to that level. Then, if this could happen between Mudi, Temple, and him, what will not happen if they are fighting an opposition political party? Then it will be hell.
Of course.
This is just what they have shown to us. Except maybe the
oppositions are not even safe in Delta.
That is exactly what they are saying. That's exactly what has happened. So if they could do this to their own party member, then what will happen if they are fighting against an opposition party? Then it will be machine gun or what have you. So they should be sanctioned. Then too, I saw that the state government was relaxed about the whole incident.
Very relaxed.
Very relaxed.
I saw
they came out with a very watery statement after we probed them to take action.
When this incident had happened, the state government was going to come out
with a very strong worded statement.
It was, although that has been the Nigerian
statement. Either to condemn or otherwise.
The Nigerian culture.
Otherwise.
Even from the presidency.
They reluctantly came out, and what they came out with just a 5-line statement
that the people should be arrested.
Who are you going to arrest?
Where you know the people.
Where you know them.
Where you know the people.
So your landing point
of the matter is that the position of the Commissioner for Works is very critical to the development of every state or a country.
It cannot be left in the hand of a man that is not emotionally intelligent.
Yes, most especially now that the state government is inviting foreign investors for a summit in the state, because it's very critical to the development of the state. So such a thing happened. I think, in my opinion, like I said, I want to throw this line, that both of them should be suspended while investigation is ongoing. Not because one is higher than the other or one is more bigger than the other. Both of them should be suspended. And I also want to speak to the State Commissioner for Information that when certain things happen, we have to treat them holistically. It's not because this one, they are your people, so you want to cheat or what. No, you don't do that. What they need to do is come out with a statement immediately. Not waiting until your opposition or journalist propped you before you come out with a statement. And the statement was so watery, just as you said, that the way should be arrested, should be looked for arrested. Where are you going to look for them when you know them? So the state government,
they are your party member.
The state government,
you are shifting your responsibility now to police. You are supposed to identify. You know their faces.
Then what also still happened to the commissioner eventually went on a wheelchair. Was his legs broken or was he attacked?
Have you not seen where
Dino Melaye
these are Dino Melaye students. These are Dino Melaye prejudice of Dino Melaye.
You can see what you can see the funny game about the
and he entered plane and left to tell you in their critical.
Somebody who was in a critical condition was able to tell, was asking one of his aides, how many of them are there?
So that we give them handout.
Give them something, you know. So there are 7. I watched it. I listened. I watched it. 7 of them. 7 of them. 7. Okay. They wheeled him straight to somebody who was. So sometimes when we want to fake things, let us fake them in a way that.
So are you saying they didn't learn well from Dino Melaye?
No. It was kind of poorly.
Poorly executed.
No, he's not a theater artist, and I've not learned the art
where
of
the
acting.
wheelchair came from and when he sat on it and started rolling to somewhere.
No, I was thinking before somebody called my attention. I was thinking that when he had that attack, that was when this. But when I looked, there was no sign of bandage and all that, and I knew that he was dramatizing. He would have called us, those of us who have a stint in theatre, so that we put him through. That is the best we can take today. It's ongoing conversation. We'll get back to you some other time, and we'll continue to look at this. We are stakeholder in Delta State. We will not allow Delta State to be dragged to the level of a state where anything goes. We'll continue to hold government accountable. We'll continue to call them to take necessary action when the needs arises. Thank you for being part of today's program, and watch out for the continuation of this discussion.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much.